Welcome to the Global Warwatch Network. We're diving into a situation that is heating up incredibly fast, and it's happening right in America's backyard.
Okay, let's get straight to it. The United States has just labeled Venezuela's Cartel de los Soles a terrorist group. Now, this isn't just some political headline. This is a huge deal. It's a legal tripwire that could, and I mean could, open the door for direct U.S. military strikes. Look, this is a fast-moving story with some really serious implications. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve on this and other critical global security issues, now is the time to hit that subscribe button. All right, so the terrorist designation. This is a major escalation. So what exactly went down? Well, after weeks of what seems like very quiet maneuvering, the U.S. State Department just completely flipped the table on its relationship with Venezuela. So the target here is the Cartel de los Soles. U.S. officials describe this as a network made up mostly of Venezuelan military officers who are deep in the drug trade. They've now been officially added to the Foreign Terrorist Organization list, the FTO list. And believe me, that's not just a slap on the wrist. It's an incredibly powerful legal tool that reframes the whole situation, from a criminal problem to a direct threat to U.S. national security. And you can bet the reaction from Caracas was, well, it was fast and it was furious. The Venezuelan government came out swinging, calling it a dirty lie aimed at justifying an invasion. And they're not just talking either. They've put their coastal and air defense units on high alert. That's a clear signal they're preparing for a fight. Next up, the Caribbean military buildup. Because here's the thing, and this is absolutely crucial to understand. This designation did not happen in a vacuum. Nope. For weeks leading up to this, the U.S. was quietly moving some serious military hardware into the region. Let's take a look at what they've assembled. And when I say serious, I mean serious. We're talking about one of the largest U.S. naval forces parked near Venezuela that we've seen in almost 20 years. This is not your average patrol, folks. This is a powerful and very capable force that gives Washington a whole menu of options. Just look at the hardware they've put in place. This is not just for show. You've got a full carrier strike group. That's your long-range punch. You have destroyers and cruisers for non-stop surveillance. An amphibious-ready group, which means Marines are ready to go in fast. But here's the real kicker. Strategic bombers have been spotted flying what look an awful lot like pre-strike mapping patterns. Drones and P-8A aircraft are keeping tabs on every move the Venezuelan Navy makes. So yeah, this is way more than just a blockade. It's a full-spectrum force ready for just about anything. Which brings us to our next section, a new authority for strikes. So why is this FTO designation the real game changer here? Because it's not just a label. Think of it like a legal key that unlocks a whole new playbook for the U.S. military. Let's really break this down. Before this designation, any U.S. action would have been under a counter-narcotics framework. Think of it like a police operation. Lots of red tape, a high political bar to clear just to authorize a strike. But now it's under counter-terror authority. That flips the script entirely. The narrative changes from crime fighting to national security threat. This gives them so much more room to take direct kinetic action, military strikes, without needing a full-blown declaration of war. It's like switching from a local police rulebook to a wartime one. So what does this mean in the real world? What can they do now? Well, for starters, U.S. forces could legally strike Venezuelan military assets as long as there's a link to the cartel. They can go after logistical hubs, safe houses, transportation routes, you name it. They could even conduct strikes on Venezuelan soil. And it's not just about boots on the ground or missiles in the air. This also gives them the power to freeze and seize any cartel-connected financial assets anywhere on the planet. All right, moving on to how the world is reacting to all this. Because, a move this big doesn't just happen in a bubble. It's sending shockwaves all across Latin America, and yeah, the big global players are definitely paying attention. And the reactions within the region? They are all over the place. Of course, you've got Venezuela's furious condemnation, no surprise there, but what's really telling is the cautious silence from some key U.S. allies like Colombia and others in the Caribbean. Meanwhile, you've got regional powers like Brazil and Bolivia basically screaming from the rooftops, warning that this could destabilize everything. And the worries go way beyond just the immediate neighborhood. There's a very real concern this could mushroom into a much bigger geopolitical mess. I mean, what if Venezuela calls on its friends for help? We're talking Russia, China, and Iran. Then what? And let's not forget the people on the ground. Humanitarian groups are warning that any military action would be catastrophic, making an already terrible crisis even worse and possibly kicking off another huge wave of refugees.
Okay, so let's tie all these threads together. We're on the brink. When you look at the legal paperwork, the military muscle that's now in position, and the global reaction, it's really hard to see it any other way. All the pieces on the chessboard are now in place for a conflict.
In fact, U.S. officials have actually said that the Pentagon's preparatory phase is complete. Now, that's a chillingly official phrase. What it means is that the intelligence gathering, the moving of ships and planes, setting up supply lines, all of that is done. The stage is set.
And this really shows you just how close we are to the edge. Step 1, the FTO designation. That creates the legal justification. That's complete. Check. So what's left? Just one thing. Step 2, a final executive order. That's the green light from the president to begin operations. And right now, that's pending.
So, that's where we are. It all comes down to this one question. With the legal framework in place, the military ready to go, and everything just waiting on a single command, is the Caribbean on the verge of a new conflict? That's the situation as it stands right now. It is incredibly tense. Thank you for joining us here at Global Warwatch Network for this breakdown. To keep up with this and other developing stories, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. We really do want to hear what you think, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, join the conversation with us on social media. You'll find all the links you need down in the description.